Hi guys, and welcome back to Christian Cast, where I go fishing so you don't have to. Today we are in my cellar and I've set it up as a little bait building workshop, and I'm really excited. We've got all our paints here, we've got the airbrush, everything we need to cut out lips, and all the tools we need. So we are going to try to build our first bait today, and we printed this already in the last video, so you know the bait already. I'll drop the video here or there so you can check over how I produced my prototypes and how I was progressing in the direction of this finished prototype. We are actually going to be painting it in the direction of a rainbow trout. I put up a rainbow trout that I actually caught in one of the adventures, and we are going to try and mimic the optics of it. So I'm going to be using a lot of grays, silvers, blacks, pinks, and we're going to try and get it as realistic as I want it to be. I'm not too sure how realistic I want it because the eyes are quite big as well, but we'll try our best to actually mimic the optics of this fish up here. So I'm really interested. It's the first bait build on my channel, and I haven't done this ever before, so I'm taking you guys on this journey, and I'll set you guys up so you see my hands from above and you can follow it step for step. We'll still have to also smoothen out these surfaces, so there's going to be some sanding, some sealing, because I have to seal the bait before I paint it and give it its ground color because of the 3D print. Like I said in the video before, you got the layers of the print, and the paint goes into those layers and actually smudges if you paint over it. So if you would take it, it's one of the easiest tests. You can take a 3D print and you go over with the edding, and you see how it gets pulled into the lines of the different layers. So we don't want that in our paints then afterwards, so we're going to be actually sealing it before with super glue, and we'll see how that goes, or if the material actually reacts. So I'm quite interested in that as well. We'll glue the lip in as well straight away while we do the process of sealing, because in case something goes into the slip slot, we are actually going to have trouble getting the lip in again once super glue goes in. So we might do that before already and put the lip in, seal the bait, and then we've got the lip in already ready for painting. So I'll get you guys set up and we'll get ready to work. I'll then start maybe with cutting out the lip slot, because it is still got some support material from the 3D print in it. So I don't know if it will focus, but if you guys look into that slot, you actually see that there is some support material, but I've got some razor blades with, so we'll cut that out and clear it up, and then we'll get ready for sealing, painting, and clear coating. So stick around and we'll see each other. So as you guys can see, we are now here with our bait, and I'm going to clear out these little strings that we have got through the 3D print. So I'll check it. I've got a lip already cut just to test out if it fits. So that works already. So first things first, that is done, and now we're gonna head over to grab myself a little piece of rougher sandpaper, and we're actually going to go over. So that's enough of the rough sandpaper. Now we'll grab one of our sanding blocks that I showed in the other video, which is quite fine, and it actually smooths out these surfaces very nicely. I am quite happy with how that looks. I'll just clean out this still again, because we got some dust in there from sanding. Or maybe, I know it's not ethical, but I'll blow it off. with my airbrush because I don't have any paints in. You can get off all that stuff still. So now we've got our bait ready, and I'll get the super glue and we'll start sealing. I'll get on some gloves still and I'll get you guys back. So I actually forgot a step. We are going to put in the hardware before. So this is going to be a bait with 2 treble hooks and 1 line tie. So I've got a 1mm drill ready for the first hole. So that's enough. So we have got all the hardware on, and now we are going to start and seal the bait. So I'll get the super glue ready and I'll get you guys back. So we are back. I've actually prepared a square lip because I wanted to try something new, and we're just going to rough up the end of this that it holds a bit better in with the super glue. So rough that up a bit that it gets milky, just like that. And then we'll grab one of these helping hands and we'll put that right on our super glue, and I'll maybe clip it off because I don't need it that long. I'll put that to the side, and we'll just drop a little bit of super glue right in there. As you guys can see, it is coming out. There we go. And now we will set our lip, and we'll make sure that it is straight, that any excess super glue that comes out will straight away put onto the bait, because we are anyway doing the sealing process, which we'll just do like that, and then we'll be wild and just go over the bait and seal him like that. You have to be quick because otherwise your gloves also glue onto the bait, which one tends to not want. As you guys can see, the lip is well centered and the bait looks very smooth, and we'll get to painting it. So after sealing the bait completely, we're actually going to start now with our airbrush. I shaked them up and opened them completely because they were new colors. So we are going to use 5 colors. I'm going to try and keep it very simple because it's my first bait build, and we're going to take a silver for the groundation because the bait itself is white already, so we won't have to use a white color to mask anything. So first things first, I'm using this silver color, so we'll start the airbrushing process. I don't know if you guys can see, that is a very light silver, so I think we might be hitting it with a other color still. So we are going to let this first coat dry now, and then we'll maybe go over it with something a little darker, because I am not quite sure of the silver. We might actually mix some gray into the silver, that we have something a little darker, because I didn't see anything darker in my color set. So I'll get you guys back once that is done. So as you can see, the color is dry now and it is quite shiny. So I mixed some of the paint with holding closed here and actually pulling back a little bit, and I mixed myself a little bit of a darker gray, and we're gonna touch up a bit at the top and we'll see how that goes. So as you guys can see, we have got a little bit of a color change to the bottom part, which we will be doing on both sides. Try to get it symmetrical. So that is the first color change of our bait, and I will wash out this, let the bait dry, and then we'll get to throw on some black spots in random spaces, because the rainbow trout has often got little black dots all over the place. So we'll mimic those and then I'll get back to you guys. So as you guys can see, I've been practicing a lot of dots and trying to get the paint settings right, and I think I've got it now. So we are going to randomly So I'm going to try still around a bit, and I'll get you guys back once I'm painting them back, because they're not working as I want them to. We are back, and now I'm going to carry on. So that is the first part of making this a little bit random, and now we're gonna go over to the pink colors and the purple colors for the middle run, put on an eye, and hopefully make a beautiful scale pattern. We'll go back with the black and maybe mix in a little bit of the silver and do a little bit of a scale pattern, and that will then drop into the UV resin. So I'll see you guys back. And I've loaded up some metallic purple, and we're gonna go over the eye in the middle right here, and we'll try to apply it very gently. So and now we're gonna swap up a bit. The next color is a fluorescent pink. So after that, I'm gonna go back a bit with a darker gray from the top again to clear out a bit what we messed up, and then we're gonna try and get this video ended. Now I'm gonna show you the last step before clear coating this bait, and that will be giving it some scales. And as you guys know out of the video where I show you all the gear that I'm working with, I use a net for keeping insects out. So I put it over, use these clasps to close it near the bait, and now we're gonna give it a little shine. So there we go. That should be right about what I want. So I've covered the white net. It looks silver all over the place now. So now we're gonna wait and let it dry, and then I'll get you guys back once I do the scale review. We are back, and we're gonna take off these clasps. And there we go. So that doesn't look too bad. It's a bit geometric, sadly, and it's a bit heavy on this side. I would have done it a bit lighter next time, but we'll give it a clear coat and see how the colors pop out, and maybe it gets better. So see you soon. Now, before clear coating, we will be adding the eyes. So I set them right in there. Right on this side. See that we put them similar to each other. There we go. So we have got our eyes in, and now the part I am dreading a bit comes, because I haven't got a rotisserie yet, and I don't know, I would like to dunk my baits in, let them drop off, and then actually put on the clear coat, but I am now having to actually just drizzle it over like that, and actually take a brush so we will dry it now for the first time, and then we will grab it on a different eye and actually harden it a second time, because I see some rough edges which I'm not a great fan of. So I reclipped them right here, and now we're gonna just add some more. Now I am quite happy with the clear coat. You still see there's some impurities in the clear coat, but I don't think we'll be getting it any better with that. So I'll now harden him and let him dry a bit, and then I'll show you our end result and we'll get to a little outro. Our first bait build is actually a finish, and I'm gonna let him dry still a bit and hit him with a UV torch, and I'm gonna take him with once on a fishing adventure, and we'll see if we actually are able to catch something with him and how the action is. Some things that I've noticed a lot while making this bait is that I can be a lot bolder with the colors, and next time I might actually not go as dark with the scales, because actually the scales that I paint on are the lighter part than that actually shines. Because if you look at a fish, if you look at the scale, you actually see the rim of the scale, and here you actually, through making the full scale darker, it doesn't seem like that. So it's better to actually do the underground a bit darker and go over with lighter scales. But it's all a learning process, and it's got a bit dark, I would say. It's not as light as I wanted it to be, but I would say it's not bad for the first bait. So I'm gonna hook it up as soon as it's dry with hardware, and we'll see that we take it out on a adventure, and we'll see if we get anything. So if you enjoyed this video, leave it a like, leave me comments if you got any questions to airbrushing or how I seal it, what I'm planning in future, and we'll see each other for the next bait build. So see you soon. Cheers.